You see, Eastern wisdom says satsang. Satsang means the company of the real. Real means which is unchanging, permanent entity, all pervading. So when I recognize and realize that entity, that is what is known as awakening. But simply saying company of the real does not work. So it has to be combined with listening and learning, contemplation and reflection, practice and experience. Then we have to analyze. I have to become aware. Am I with the real or not? Did I hang out with the real today or gossip? I have to be aware to know that I am with the real or I'm not with the real. So what I said, the master says, I have to become aware that whether I'm hanging out with the gossip or the real today. Gossip creates a pattern of wandering and disturbances. The pattern attacks us as lack of focus, reaction, blame, and complaint. If you remember, we discussed a few weeks or a month ago that we travel outside. It's a physical. I travel to your home, you travel to my home, you travel to a store in the mall. We know the destination, we have a starting point and a finishing point. So what I'm saying, what the satsang does, when you don't attend the satsang, you always travel outside, that is normal. But you wander inside. You wander inside. You are distracted inside. Even while listening to me now, if you are wandering inside, there's a lack of focus. I don't feel the mood of it. That pattern constantly invites impulsive, habitual, unwelcome thoughts in my mind. Unless we start traveling inside, there is no way we can enter into the higher state. Satsang is one great means. You are listening, contemplating, reflecting, then it happens. Then you start traveling inside. The moment any unwanted thought enters into your mind, you are simply aware and you say, this is not required. Otherwise, what happens? Otherwise, we start living as a false I because of those unwelcome, unwanted thought pattern. I said we wander inside, we travel outside. Anyone can travel outside. There is no issue. I have to come to your house, my house, and you go to the store, mall, take a flight, reach anywhere. What is the big challenge is to travel inside. For that, we need a discernment and dispassion. That is what the satsang and the Eastern wisdom says. Let us start with our journey with Mangalacharan. Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. Let me change that Shanti mantra today for the Saturday. That is more important. Namah Shri Shankarananda. Salutation to the Shankarananda, the embodiment of the bliss and wisdom. Is your mind wandering at this time or it is really saluting to the Shankarananda? Let me challenge my own mind. Am I looking you all as the manifestation of my master with whom I am communicating, or it is the false I which claims I am teaching to you? It is the both ways. So that is what Guru Padam Janmani, to the lotus feet of the Guru, acknowledging the source of inner guidance. We'll discuss that a little bit. Savilas Mahamoha, addressing the great play of delusion that entangles the mind. Graha Grasaika Karmani, recognizing the soul functioning of the knowledge and the wisdom. What is the soul function? To remove the ignorance. You remove the ignorance, you dissolve your wandering mind. Mind becomes calm, restful ocean that reflects the real self when, all the time, in all the locations, with everyone. What is that state? First reach that state and then let me know what is that state. So it is from a salutation to seeing, from salutation to the right perception, from a salutation to the perception of the real. No, it will take 20 years, but the perception is available here. Why it will take so much of time? Now you see, because I just told you, mind wanders inside because of ignorance and delusion, because of the lack of awareness, because of the absence of, because we find there is an absence of wisdom inside me. So we already discussed, there is a crocodile comes, that wandering mind, behind the wandering mind there is a crocodile, comes dressed as a comfort. It doesn't say I'm delusion. It says I'm your heart's true meaning. Just one more episode of laziness. Just one more episode of blame and complaint. One more craving. One more ego trip. And you are put down. You know you need rest, but the mind whispers, scroll a little more. You deserve it. So what is the job of a teacher or a guru? Eat, not entertain. It eats, it devours the crocodile of ignorance, not to make it better behave. A real teacher outside, which is the representative of your real self, won't polish your ego story. They will gently show how it is the problem. And what is this job of a seeker? Stop feeding the beast. Wisdom can eat delusion, but only if you stop throwing in. If you stop throwing in, snacks off, blame, complaint, reaction. That is what I refer to as the wandering inside. Or you follow the outdated operating system. I am the body, I am the mind. So now you have a clarity. I believe so. Wandering mind comes and says, laziness is a better option in meditation. Now you have understood from where I started. So just poise method, we will apply the poise method and see the presence. Presence means the inner space awareness. Inner space awareness means that you simply notice. You notice. What do you notice? Mind. Because if you have created a pattern, your work, thoughts, feeling, emotions are coming and going. I'm simply noticing. So you get a fraction of a separation. Because you notice it is not you. You notice, you recognize the traffic on the highway. You see? So keep on watching, keep on noticing, keep on observing. Keep on observing. You move to the second. All these steps are one step, but I try to break up. Why? To help break the delusion. So when you notice is inherent. Observer is inherent in noticing. Do you see? Look at this guy. So you are observer. But I point out that you notice. Same way. You notice what is happening to the mind and you return to being an observer. Own your observer. Awaken to that observer. Awaken to that observer. So when you are now an observer, how? I already gave a simple example of that. You're standing across the road watching the traffic. Understand, my friend? It is a physical metaphor, so we can separate. Physical. You are standing behind across a highway, and at a distance you are watching the traffic. So, but I have to do it in my mind itself. So there comes the investigate the flow. Sorry. Presence, observer. So that physical metaphor I converted into a mental and emotional metaphor. That there is a highway. You are not the part of the highway. You are not the part of the traffic. You are investigating. You are observing how your mental patterns flow. Now, see, many people feel it's a law. It will take years to get it. Yes, if you find a comfort in the wandering nature of the mind, it will take 20 years. When you investigate the flow, when you witness, when you are an observer, it leads to two things working together. What are the two things? Discernment and dispassion. You will find a sense of detachment, non-attachment. Don't you feel when you are watching the traffic moving on the road, standing, you are already separate. It is a non-attachment. You're not making any effort. And if that is so, you find the space, POIS, the spaciousness, the space you find. How I know that you are different from me, you are separate from me? There has to be a distance. There has to be a space. And in that space, either you are just aware of the breath, mind aware of the breath, mindfulness of the breath. Don't focus. If you focus, the old mind that has created a set pattern of wandering will sooner or later will start wandering. So I never use the word focus. You just casually you are watching. The way you are watching the traffic, you are also looking at the breath. So there is a secret behind it. You are watching the traffic, the one sedan, one SUV, another trailer, then the bus, and other traffic, different colors. Every thought is different. That is wandering. Only one thought or only one awareness of one flow of the breath is what? You see? You're not challenging the mind at all. You say, oh, mind, your nature is movement. Okay. Move on the breath, going in and out. Where to move again? Again, move on the breath. Where? Move on the breath. You have to be very gentle, receptive, open to the breath. That is what the breath mindfulness is. It is not a focus. Then what happens? You embody the peace within you. You embody the peace within. We had a longer practice today. Why? So that you can compare what is the state now. Did you live into that state all the time since the last session? And what were the challenges? How many times you had the moment of wandering inside, manifest in wandering outside. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Open your eyes. So now we'll share our experiences, comparing both. Let us start with the David and Jerry.
Excuse me. Thank you, sir. Just since Thursday morning, just lots of activity, but not a lot of attachment to the activity. Lots of buses and trucks and cars going by. There was no, I noticed just a difference of sort of, I think you talked about being on the hill looking down earlier. And that's just been I've just been observing whether it's a peaceful moment, a busy moment, or engaging with people. I've just sort of stepped back a little bit and just feel this overall calmness.
Beautiful. We are changing. Beautiful. How are you, Jerry?
Sir, I'm good. Thank you. Yeah, same. It's just been seamless. There's a lot going on, but there's not a lot going on.
Yeah, that's an important statement. There's a lot going on outside. Nothing is going on inside. The mind is not wandering. You see, the many compartments I explained in terms of many rooms. We have two set of rooms in the mind. Mind wanders inside, travels outside. So when it travels outside, I think, I'm doing fine. No, I'm not doing fine. I have to travel inside. Yes, that's a beautiful expression. How are you, Dennis?
I didn't notice any challenges lately. I've been mostly working on the computer. I've been in peace, practicing regularly, not allowing outer conditions interfere with my inner calmness. When I notice that the mind wants to complain or react, I'm usually able to stop it by contemplation. So I think it's fine.
Beautiful. You see a point, the moment mind starts wandering, I become aware. What happens to a non-seeker? Mind starts wandering. It is looking for a comfort in the delusion and ignorance. It is looking for a comfort. So I have to make a choice, whether I have a comfortable choice or I have a better choice with the discernment and dispatch. And the life changes instantly. How are you, Vaibhav?
Thank you, sir. So in general, it was calm. It's just like the statement that you have said. It clicked my mind at how much I am with my gossip mind or how much I am with my awareness. So at times I realize that I am with that gossip, and it is like it is my laziness that it's not bringing back me towards that. So
Yeah.
mind doesn't want letting me, allowing me even to. It's became so thick that it doesn't allow me to be with that awareness. But then I realize it, and I'll have to work on those areas as well.
Yes, it will continue. That is the big challenge, to become a wonderful and a higher seeker. Laziness or blame or complaint or any issue, they all accumulate together, and that is a crocodile of delusion. But the delusion says, I'll give you the comfort. Hiding behind it is a reaction, is an anxiety, is a duality, is a conflict. That is beautifully said. Terry, you want to communicate? She doesn't want to face to the laptop because of the light, but she is available.
Yes, the temptation to look at the computer is very it's really hard to resist.
Don't look at it.
Uh-huh.
Leave that
So
crazy
now
computer.
there's another thing that I have to be aware of, and I think it's compulsive to, becomes a habit to always want to look at the computer.
Rightly.
Yeah, I think that I have a challenge when I can't communicate, because I notice that that's when I lose my temper. So I have to try to be aware of that.
Yes. Can you lose your temper now?
Right now, no.
Why no?
I can't force myself. But people don't, I talk very slowly, and people have a tendency to start talking with the answer to my question before I've even asked it.
Just
I get very irritated by that.
Play with your mind, Terry, at least 20 times every day. Oh, you have lost temper yesterday? Can you lose your temper today now? Just now? Just now? Just now? And when you are asking the mind says, no, there is no hesitation, there is no reaction. But why there is no? It is an absence of lack of awareness. Simple thing. I am aware I cannot lose temper. That is why we say, I lost the temper, I don't know what happened to me. I became angry, it happened to me. Hesitation happened to me. Anxiety happened to me. I did not deliberately become angry. But still we label it, I lost my temper. You see the biggest delusion. That is what I said. Delusion plays with you, it comes with you as a comfort, but behind it, it contains that crocodile of delusion. So we have to do the satsang, listen and repeat, Mangalacharan, listening and learning, contemplation, reflection, and gradually all those steps. Now coming to the main topic, we are talking about Sankhya Yoga. Sankhya Yoga says the Sankhya means one meaning is counting numbers. The other meaning means dispassion, discernment together. Sankhya. Sankhya means the knowledge of the reality also. But before I go, I'll just tell you something very good. You know, these great masters like Kapila. I told you that the Kapila lived almost 1600 years before the Buddha was born. And Buddha got a chance to study from a master what the Kapila said, and Buddha referred to in his text many a times. But there was a great master Kapila who taught about the meditation. Coming back, you know what I wanted to tell you beautifully, that is what we are doing. Perhaps you are aware of it at the subconscious level. I'm making you aware now today at the conscious level. So we talk about that Sankhya Sutra, Patanjali Yoga Sutra. We see. So like this we have a sutra. Sutra literally means formulas in English translation. But in Eastern wisdom it is extremely important to understand what exactly is the sutra. So these rare masters have compressed many files into one folder, whether you say it is a verse or it is a sutra. But now you have to, why we go back? Why the masters of today refer to those sutras again and again, every master. If every master refers, they are known as the masters of the Eastern wisdom. If you don't refer to that, you are not. Then you create your own. Like this, you create your own physics principle or chemistry principle. There are, I think, David Dennis, there are something 117 or 18 elements, and you say there are 125 elements. So it means you are not studying physics or you are not studying chemistry. You are not a part of it. It becomes a fake science. Unless you present some strong hypothesis based on that. Why I am saying, it is very important to know, so that I will pick up a couple of the sutras. So these great masters have created these sutras based on their state of enlightenment and pre-existing knowledge. That is one aspect. Second is that every sutra is complete in itself. There is no grammatical mistake. There is no ambiguity. It is self-explanatory when you know the basics of Eastern wisdom. It cannot be changed. So there are 6 or 7 characteristics of every sutra. So when I say it cannot be changed, it means what he has written 2500 years ago, I have to refer the same sutra first and then I have to open it. How to open up? We go to each word, we find the meaning. There may be many meanings of that one. So as a teacher, I must open up every meaning before the seeker so that the seeker appreciates and his mind opens up. That helps you to reach to a state of, so your mind follows the intellect, it starts following the process of discernment and dispassion. That is why we say satsang is very important. In satsang we say company of the real. Company of the real, now you see, let the sequence work. Company of the Real, we start with the Mangalacharan, and then I pick up the sutra. I didn't pick up the sutra, but I explained its meaning. But I'll be picking up the sutras. And then each word in the meaning, and then I explain. So what happens? Your mind now reset, follows, oh, this is the way I have to contemplate and reflect. And the moment you start contemplating and reflecting, discernment enters into your mind. Dispassion takes place. Oh, you are right. Delusion. Delusion comes to me as a comfort, but it contains the pain. It contains the reaction. So there is some changes. Let modern psychology say there are neurophysiological changes, neurons changes. Let them say. But we have to be mindful of what we are studying. So that is the importance of these sutras. That is why you see Patanjali Yoga Sutra, we cannot change their principles. Even if science has discovered, many changes that is taking place, for example, because of the breathing, which is known as the pranayama. But what Patanjali says in 2 Sutra, I can talk on that sutra at least for hundreds of pages. First benefit, it says, Tatakshiyate prakasha varnam sutra. It removes the veil of ignorance. So if I explain and make you understand that your breathing practice, this is what the science says, it increases your oxygen concentration, carbon dioxide concentration decreases, it helps you to change your neural pattern. Okay, let them be. We will talk about it. But we don't lose the fundamental. Why? Company of the Real. I have to awaken to myself. By understanding increased oxygen concentration, I don't awaken myself. So that is the beauty. So every teacher who knows what exactly is the Eastern wisdom is not going to leave that tradition, that way of explaining, that way of presentation. It is required in today's session. So Sankhya Sutra. So Sankhya Sutra, Kapila. What is Sankhya Sutra? It is a text. It contains the sutra. So it defines meditation. What's meditation? Sankhya. It has come to my mind and I lost it. Dhyanam, yeah, I got it. Dhyanam nirvishayam manaha. How Buddha was influenced, I would say, if you say influence in the beginning, but after enlightenment there is no influence because it is a part of your state. So Sankhya says Dhyanam nirvishayam manaha. Dhyanam, now you see, I'm explaining Dhyanam. Dhyanam means meditation. Nirvishayam. Nirvishayam means absence of objects. Where? Manaha. Meditation is the absence of objects in the mind. Now you see, I'm explaining. So is Kapila saying absence of all the objects in the mind? Patanjali clarifies, no. It is not the absence of all objects. You need not to go to science to explain this sutra. It is not going to work towards awakening. It will work. It will convince you. But it is not going to work. Are you getting it? Sutras as verses, whether it is sutra or verses, verses have the same characteristic. Grammatically 100% correct. The exact, you choose the word exactly so that it conveys the essence, the intrinsic nature. It cannot be changed. It is compressed. It is many files are compressed in it. But can you find out why those files are compressed? There were days when we did not have means for printing and publishing. You see the logic. So the masters created these sutras so that it can easily be remembered and passed on to the next generation. Nowadays we can go and buy the Sankhya Sutra from the Amazon, and I found it in where is that, in the bookstore, very famous bookstore here in, you see that. So and it can be sung. Why singing? Because it has an emotional effect, so that you don't forget it. You can continue. I'm not going there. Come back. So what happens? Patanjali, that sutra, Dhyanam Nirvishayam Manaha. So what I said, that mindfulness or meditation is the absence of objects in the mind. Now I have to take a reference from Patanjali. Patanjali says it does not mean it is the absence of all the objects. Raise objection. I'm helping you to contemplate. That is the process of contemplation, reflection. I'm just giving some light. That is the how you have to teach others also, and you have to teach your mind also. But why you said it is, yes, there is an objection that, and so, this master raises the objection. Did I say that it is the absence of all the objects? No. Why? No. Can you think of it? Now the master highlights it. Master says if it is absence of all the objects, peace is also an object of the mind. The love is reflected from the real self, manifest in the mind as an object. Love and wisdom is also coming from the real self, manifest as object in the mind. If it is absence of all the objects, no peace, no love, no wisdom. Are you understanding? It is not the absence of everything. Then how I can express myself? How can I become aware of the peace? So Patanjali further clarified in his text. First there was a Kapila, and after that there is a Patanjali. You see the series of the tradition. And then Patanjali says, no, it is avidya. No. Patanjali says in the first chapter, there are 5 subjective states of the mind, and there are 5 objective states of the mind. 5 objective states of the mind: Praman, Viparyaya, Vikalpa, Nidra, Smriti. So it means there are millions of the thoughts. These 5 categories of the objects I have to leave it. Then whatever is left is in the mind is peace, happiness, love, truth, and wisdom. You see the mathematical way of explaining. The majority of the read it and they it is ritual, it is rites, and it has no sense in it. You have not studied even the first chapter clearly. Why I am talking of in a logical fashion, because this is what the Kapila is going to do. purely mathematically. Your anger, it's some permutation and combination of these 25 elements. Why 25 elements? First element is the Purusha, that is the pure consciousness, and the rest are 24 elements. And you are saying that anger is also a combination of 25 elements? Yes. How come? After all, you say that you are angry. You are aware of your anger. And that awareness is the intrinsic nature of the Purusha. It is why you are aware, you are stressed, I am into anxiety. Oh, so there is a combination of these 25 elements. Answer is yes. So when I understand, so I have understood, yes, I am aware of the anger. It is only one. It is the intrinsic nature of the Purusha. I am going there, Leah. I am going there and will take up one example and then explain to you. Now the manifestation of anger, where it includes, if you remember the last session, there is an ultimate cause in the Prakriti, that is Prakriti. But there is a cause and effect. It is the mind, it is the intellect, it is the ego, it is the memory. The third category I said, it is pure effect. Cause and effect, only pure cause. Now in the cause and effect here, the mind, intellect, memory, and the ego. Now can you find out the permutation and combination? The mind has an expectation from you. You did not meet my expectations. First option, it may be anger. No, but, anger. I'm just going little beyond that. You see, that is the way we have to, you just explained. No, I am angry, don't say it. Anger took place in this cause and effect relation. Where? At a surface level, mind, intellect, ego. Okay, so unmet expectation. What is your expectation? I was seeking happiness from you and you did not give me happiness, so I'm angry. So now I'm looking, is the happiness is your intrinsic nature? No. If it is not your intrinsic nature, why I am angry? Why I do it? Now you slow down. Your anger slow. Then what I'm doing? Am I fool? Yes, you are number one fool. You are crazy. You see, you start discernment. Your discernment enters into you, and you see, yes, if then I realize, you are already frustrated, and I'm looking for happiness in you. So do you see? Oh my goodness. I love my soulmate. There is no soulmate, is only inside. There is no soulmate. You see, I used to play with it and I said, my goodness, what's happening to me? Are you crazy? Now go back to the first. I said, delusion enters into you. Crocodile of delusion enters into you as comfort. But behind it, there is a big story. It is going to manifest in anger or anxiety or reaction or blame or complaint. Now I have understood. First part only. I'm just explaining you the Sankhya Yoga in a different way. Now question comes, why it should manifest in anger? Satoguna, Rajoguna, Tamoguna. Now it is because of the Rajoguna. Rajoguna is an activity. But when the Rajoguna mixes with the space element or the air element or the fire element, no fire element. Rajoguna, fire element. Rajoguna, fire element plus expectations, unmet expectations, where I'm sleeping. My expectations cannot be met by anyone. Peace and happiness are my intrinsic nature. I have forgotten it. That is why I have a delusion. And delusion causes the ignorance, and ignorance causes the suffering, and that is why I am suffering. There is no one responsible for my peace and happiness. Now you have concluded. Ask yourself what happens to your mind. Mind is now calm. Did you work for calmness or peace? Answer is no. So it means the calmness was already present, deluded, superimposed by my unmet expectations, seeking pleasure and happiness because of the delusion caused by the ignorance which leads me to the suffering. I drop the entire series of the layers of the delusion and ignorance. What is left? I'm already calm. Why I'm calm? Because calmness is my nature. That is the Purusha. So I've separated the Purusha and the Prakriti from. I just wanted you to, that process I have to follow. Exactly, it's a scientific process. I think Danish will appreciate it, purely a scientific process. Kapila says it has, don't go into the mysticism, that this wave comes and this light comes and it helps me to become a spiritual person. Everyone is a spiritual. Everyone is a combination of the Prakriti and Purusha. Now see, I'm just explaining you that how this process works. This process works everywhere. In Sankhya Yoga, in Patanjali, in every practice of meditation, in every journey of. Now understand, I gave you that example, but let me explain in a better way. There is a iron ball. Iron ball means shape is sphere, circle, sphere. What is the characteristics of the iron ball? Intrinsic nature. What is the intrinsic nature of the iron ball? It is black and it is cold. Naturally, iron is cold. Naturally. Now here is a fire. Take the fire as a real self, because it helps you to understand by this metaphor. Fire is the real self. Fire is the Purusha. What is the intrinsic nature of the fire? It is heat, it is light. Heat, light, intrinsic nature. Intrinsic nature of the iron ball is, I just explained yesterday to that doctor also, so I thought better bring the same thing in a different way. So now it is a nature, it is cold and sphere. So it means it has a shape. Do you have a shape of the fire? That is why we use, as a metaphorically, we say, this Purusha is almost, the fire does not have a shape. Now see, Prakriti and Purusha. They are coming together. Coming together. Now you say it is a hot iron ball. Or you can add a red hot iron ball. What did you say? Red hot. Is it a red iron ball? No. Why it happened? Pay attention. Iron ball borrowed the properties of the heat and the light, and this fire borrowed the properties of the shape of the iron, so it became hot iron. It's a very simple metaphor. Prakriti with 24 elements, with millions of permutation and combination, borrows the properties of the Purusha. Then what it says, I'm the body. What is the matter? Inert. How can it say? How can it speak? But it speaks through the mind, cause and effect relationship. I told you, pure cause and effect, and then only the effect. If you don't know the digits, what the digit 5 means, how can you add 5 plus 2 is equal to 7? Same thing here, Prakriti. I should know the characters, cause and effect, only pure cause and the pure effect. Now, the moment I say I am the body, it is mixture. I am in a delusion. I am the body, I am the mind, I am the intellect, I am the ego. I am asking you, you love me because I find you are full of love. I am in delusion. I am into anxiety, duality, conflict. But I told you the delusion starts with a comfort, with a lot of great expectations, seeking peace and happiness. I will marry and be happy. I will divorce, will be happy. I will remarry to be happy. I didn't learn any lesson. Did I learn any lesson? So the delusion, the crocodile of the delusion continues. Kapila says, hold on, can you just look at it? What is happening to you? What is happening to you? Did you search for happiness in the house? Yes. You had the house. Are you happy? No. Did you search the happiness in buying a car? Yes. I bought the car? Yes. Am I driving? Yes. I don't want to stay here only. That guy's car was so dirty and he has the luxury car. I said, why you have come with this dirty car to my house? He claims that he is a rich guy. So I said, first time you bought, first week, you were seeking happiness, you were happy. Happiness gone. Now let it remain dirty. Who cares? Look at it. This is what is happening every day in our life. Every day. You do whatever you want to do. you buy a new bed sheet and it is spread over your bed, and now you look at it. Wow. But you have a disturbed sleep. Wow, what a disturbed sleep you had with a new bed. Kapila says calculate, mathematically understand. Understand it clearly. At every moment in your life, live in that awareness. Prakriti Purusha. So whether I say I am angry, combination of these 25 elements. Now you see the superimposition. It is a physical example, that iron ball. So this iron ball, it has its intrinsic nature. You separate, this iron ball returns to its intrinsic nature of cold and black. Fire loses its shape. So there is no sphere red ball. As such, there is no red because of the heat and the light. As such, there is nothing. Fire cannot borrow the superficial nature. But we force in delusion to live with the delusion nature as a comfort, as a means of peace and happiness, and we are running in this world every day, every hour, every minute. And that is why I started the journey, that you see, we always wander inside. So that delusion lives in me, inside. You calculate mathematically and you say logically, is there any reason to be angry? Oh, Terry was saying that, what was the word? He used to get upset, use different word here. I forgot that. Is there any chance When you live with that analysis in your head, is there any chance to get upset, angry, and agitated in your life? I have an acute headache, I cannot attend your session. No, someone made a statement. And I told him, if you have an acute headache, you must attend the session. Why you left the session? If you are a seeker, you can understand. You are aware of your headache, so awareness is there. So you attend the session. You can be aware of what I'm saying to you. Either you are totally unconscious, you are not even aware of the headache, so then there is no problem. You are still listening to me. Do you see the extreme logic? Only seeker can understand. Otherwise, non-seekers will fight with you. What the hell, I have a headache and you are saying that I should listen to you? But if you find the cause and effect, only the effect and only the pure cause, you will know you are crazy. I'm not. Teacher is not. It takes time to become a seeker. After that, the journey is just a play and a fun in every situation. I'm not saying that you don't get upset, but you return. You analyze that being upset, you analyze being reactive, and that reaction now is not accumulating more impressions in your mind. You have analyzed, you have reflected, and it is gone now. You are happy, you are relaxed. Can you imagine that? 450 BC. 450 BC, around it. It is the birth of Buddha. 450 BC means 2000 plus 500, 2500. Another 1500, 4000 years means 2000 years before the beginning of the Christian era, 4000 years ago. This guy came out with the Sankhya Yoga. And name of the Kapila is almost directly or indirectly referred in majority of these Kapila. He didn't talk about the God, he didn't talk about the religion, he didn't talk about any cult, he didn't talk about any dogma and belief. He said, these are the 25 elements. It is all the anger, play of the 25 elements. Manifestation of peace, still it is a play of 25 elements. Manifestation of peace, happiness, love, truth, and wisdom. Manifestation. Even though that real self, Purusha, is independent. But when I talk of the manifestation, again it is a play. Play of the Satoguna, the cause and effect is on the Satoguna side. There is a proper combination of these 5 elements, and that is expressed in your thought, speech, and action, and that reveals the peace, happiness, love, truth, and wisdom. So you don't take anything personally. Your anger, your hesitation, your duality, your conflict. No, nothing is personal. These are all calculations. Like 2 plus 5 plus 7 and is equal to this. And when your mind starts playing with this, that is what we are going to. Obviously, we will continue with our journey of this. So let us say, Dennis, let us share your wisdom.
Yes, I appreciate the question. And my takeaway is that the delusion is misleading. It claims to be the comfort. It creates false goals in our life, but its inherent nature is suffering, even though sometimes it provides temporary comfort. So we need discernment to separate delusion from the real. And when we talk about the delusion, I think ultimately all perceived reality is a delusion. Hence, all perceived objects is a delusion. But as I understood your explanation of Patanjali's commentary, some objects can be helpful in our journey of self-discovery, and other objects, we must drop them completely. But for example, the objects that related to the outer world or so-called objective reality, that we perceive something independent, they cause more delusion in the mind. So we have to drop these in meditation. But then there is a class of objects such as inner peace, calmness, wisdom, love, that point to the real self, that represent different aspects of the real self. They are like the reflection of the real self in our mind. So we keep and maintain these objects in the mind during the practice and meditation and during our actual everyday life, because they serve as a reference point, as a beacon that will help us to discover the real self. That's
Beautiful, yes. Beautiful analysis. So when I start working with that analysis, one more point I'm adding, because you have expressed it in a different way. You have an anger and you have the love. Love coming from the Purusha, it is not attachment. Love expressed, anger expressed. Made up of the 25 elements. They both are made up of the 25 elements. Then what is the difference? Rajo and Tamoguna at the peak. Satoguna is at the peak. Are you understanding? Satoguna is the peak. Here it is a bad space. We say dukkha, suffering, pain. Here it is made up of sukha, good space. Sukha, kha means the space. We'll talk about that. Su means good. It is made up of the. So when I have a good space in the mind where the cause and effect takes place, good space. Good space. What is a good space? Good space. Not all the thoughts need to be emptied. The thoughts of the good space has to be there. It manifests in life. What a beautiful understanding. We'll talk. How are you, David and Jerry?
Thank you, sir. Two separate things. One, for me, it comes back to the elemental table, the periodic table that we have. Everything is in its purest form in the elemental table, the periodic table. But there is a purpose sometimes to combine certain elements together to do something, but we can't lose sight of the fact that they are layers. And so when we focus on Eastern wisdom and we really practice, we have that understanding and we can sort of deconstruct things to get back down to the periodic table.
Yes.
And just I find it fascinating that the sutras are the synthesis of many, many, many words and years, and just got them right down to this finite point, because we didn't have the technology back then to transfer the knowledge. So I find that very fascinating.
Beautifully said. Beautifully said. Yes. That is what we need to recover. It means I should not twist any principle as a teacher. I should be grateful. I should be thankful because I'm a part of that tradition. and I'm not doing any pleasurism. Pleasurism is very common is a negative word in modern society, but it's not a bad connotation in the tradition, because we have to follow that. Why we have to follow? Purely mathematical. Why we do? It is absolute truth. Why we have to follow partially the scientific truth? 150 years, scientists says it consists of small particles known as atoms. But if I don't pick up the latest understanding that it is all energy, I will miss everything. So scientific discoveries, they keep on changing. They are searching Prakriti. We want food. That's a big difference. How are you, Jerry?
Sir, I'm good. I think the good space and the dukkha, the suffering space, is where my mind kind of went during this lesson.
Yeah.
And being able to see the Prakriti in play all the time.
Yes.
So we always are seeing it, and then we're seeing the observer, then we're realizing the observer, so we're awakened to who's seeing it. And by that simple discernment, we're separate from it.
Yeah.
So the peace is always with us. It doesn't get placed anywhere. If the anger comes up and is expressed, then it's our opportunity to look at where we were attached or what we were expecting, to look at the delusion that we didn't see to when we were reacting.
Yes.
So because that's the problem with delusion, is that we don't see it.
We don't see it, yeah.
So as seekers, we are able to then, through this discernment and this passion and the reflection, we can easily go back and see where the delusion was. And that's super important for us to stop the suffering.
Yes. This is what Kapila does. Kapila does so beautifully. He says, come on, follow step by step. Follow step by step. And we find, wow, unnecessary anger has no role to play. Anxiety has no role to play. Reaction is no more. Because they are already gone. Because when you start analyzing and reaching to that point, it is already gone. That is, and then Kapila says, what happened now? Now I'm in peace. What is that peace? Dhyanam nirvishayam manaha. Don't forget that dhyanam, first word, meditation or mindfulness, both. Dhyanam, the word. Nirvishayam, absence of objects, So I have not gone detail into it. Nirvishayam, it is also made up of the two. Ni means not. Vishayam means object. Do you all remember I explained to you the Sanskrit word Vishaya? If I help you to recall, do you remember, Dennis? I record Vish. Vish means poison. Poison. Oh, look at the beauty these masters. Look at the way these masters. Sanskrit is the language of the spirituality. Vishaya. Any object that puts anything in the world that puts you in delusion is Vishaya. It is a thing. I like it. It is now a Vishaya. It is still a thing. Remote is still a remote. But I like it. Now I have already converted this object into Vishaya, where mind, intellect and ego, cause and effect. Sato, Raju and Tamo Guna will play there. And now in future it will definitely create one delusion. Look at it. That is the beauty. How are you, Vaibhav?
Thank you, sir. It's all good. It's like applying these principles in my day-to-day life, like in real life experiences. It will not only like replace my older experiences, but it will create new impressions with more clarity. So now, when I will deal with someone, it will be more clear in my approach.
Yes. Your honey is angry over you, and you say, "Thank you very much. You have a right to become more angry over me." And maintain your awareness and see what happens. Because you are in a satoguna mode. I said you all. I explained you. Not all the absence of absence of not all the contents in the mind is meditation. Absence of those contents in the mind that causes the delusion has to be dropped. Then what are the contents left? Peace, happiness, love, truth, and wisdom. Now, from where it has come? It has come from the Purusha. It is already there. I am angry. I is pure awareness plus I am angry. So what happened? I explained you. Now this iron ball says, I am hot, I am red, look at me. So the Prakriti says, I am angry, but still that I am is separate. You have separated. You are done. It's a beautiful way to. That is the height of this understanding. How are you, Terry? Are you angry?
No.
Okay, very good.
I'm just thinking about that. If
No issue. Calculate the process of anger, hesitation, and also the pleasure. You just laughed when I asked you, are you angry? You started laughing. So now apply the same state of the mind when you are talking to your maid. You think as if you are talking to me, not to the maid. Superimpose me there and let me see how the anger comes.
I'm trying that.
All your maid is me.
I was thinking how to stay in the state of the Purusha when it's always a combination. How to remember non-duality when we're always in duality.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. But the way to do it, I'm not sure.
Yeah, you're right. All matter comes because duality. The moment you remove that duality, because it is caused by the delusion, there is a non-duality. A non-dual awareness has no anger, no hesitation, no issue, no stress, no problem. That is all for today. We'll meet again next Saturday.
Thank you,
Thanks,
sir.
sir.
Very much.
Namaste.
Namaste, sir. Thank you very much. Namaste, everyone.